Hello, dreamers. Yes, that's you. That's me. And that is our indigenous peoples of North America as well. Dreamers and protectors. Now, why am I going on about this and the whole dreaming thing? Well, this little dream catcher is our craft because November, amongst other things, is to honor Native American Heritage Month. Okay? And indigenous, I use that word, so fancy word, which means those that were here first. Native people. Okay? And Maine has a number of native peoples to learn about. So our book today, I was really quite surprised, but happily surprised. Here in Belgrade Public Library, we have a number of books, at least a handful, of Native American heritage, culture, storybooks. We have all kinds of nonfiction for our older readers, but for our younger readers, this one right here, this got the Robert Seibert Award, and that means excellence in like history. So it's telling a great factual story. Okay, I know you're at the edge of your seat to know what fry bread means. It's a Native American family story, and it's written by Kevin Noble Maillard and illustrated by Juana Martinez Neal. So the story is super simple, but the story behind the story far more complex. And in the back of the book, see my little sticky note? There's just one of the sections that's the nonfiction factual information that I'm going to share because, well, you'd have to come get the book and read it yourself. It's quite long, or parts of it are long. But here we go, my friends, for Native American Heritage Month 2023. Fry bread is food. Flour, salt, water, cornmeal, baking powder, perhaps milk, maybe sugar. So the kids are all helping, all mixed together in a big bowl. Even the baby looks pretty happy to be part of the story here. Okay, so we've all got the ingredients for fry bread. Fry bread is shape. Hands mold the dough, flat like a pancake, round like a ball. Yeah, they're doing all the work, the little hands, even a little sneaky hand poking over. Or puffy like Nana's softest pillow. Fry bread is sound. The skillet clangs on the stove, the fire blazes from below. Drop the dough in the skillet, the bubbles sizzle and pop. I got a little stuck on sizzle. Sizzle and pop. Oh, look, the kids are like, yes, and this guy's got his, so you can make your hearing even more, I'm going to use the word acute, more. You can hear more when you do that, right? It funnels the sound, and he's listening to that sound. Fry bread is color. Golden, brown, tan, or yellow, deep like coffee, sienna, or earth. Light like snow and cream, warm like rays of sun. Oh yes. My husband makes fried dough for Christmas. Fry bread is flavor. See beans or soup, smell tacos, cheese, and vegetables. Delight in honey and jam. Rise to discover what brings us together. So they have all these toppings to put on the fry bread, and look at that pile of fry bread right there. I bet it's fabulous. Fry bread is time on weekdays and holidays, supper or dinner, powwows and festivals, moments together with family and friends. Fry bread is art. Sculpture, landscape, portrait, our daily craft. Shared from teacher to student, a cycle of heritage and fortune. Okay, so the older generation teaching the new generation or the younger generation, basket making, fry bread making, doll making. Maybe you learned like knitting from your Grammy or Grampy, or painting, or some craft that they knew how to do. Fry bread is history, the long walk, the stolen land, strangers in our own world, the unknown food. We made new recipes from what we had. So notice the paintings here on the back, right? Kind of like, they look like kind of like teepee paintings or cave paintings to tell a story. And so they're talking about the fact that a lot of these native peoples were put in lands that were restricted land, and they had to learn to cook with new foods that they were not used to. And fry bread grew out of that. Fry bread is place, Alaska, Kansas, all the way to Maine. Go Maine. Down to Delaware, on to Georgia, over to Oklahoma, Colorado, and California. Cities and lands we call home. So this is our United States map. Here's Canada, here's Mexico. But our entire United States was home to our native peoples. So here in Maine, I'm a little backwards here. Here in Maine, a little further up, right down here's Florida up here. We had, I think it's 3-4 different indigenous peoples. Fry bread is nation. Abenaki, Apache, Arapaho, Onondaga, pardon me for that one, Oglala, Sioux, Narragansett, Navajo, Nipmuc, Seminole, Shoshone, Sac and Fox, hundreds and hundreds of tribes. So groups, right? And Abenaki is the main name for our native peoples. I love this picture. Look at that moon. Isn't it gorgeous? Fry bread is everything. Round, flat, large, small, north, south, east, west, brown, yellow, black, white, familiar and foreign, old and new. We come together. That is stunning, in my view. Fry bread is us. We are still here, elder and young, friend and neighbor. So even though our native peoples were really put through the ringer, so to speak, that means like lots of hard things, they are still here to tell the story. And we honor them this month and always. We strengthen each other to learn, change, and survive. So we have family portraits here to remind us of family that might not be there anymore. And then the fry bread, big trays of fry bread. Fry bread is you. So this is that baby that had the little fingers on the cupboard. And yeah, so let me just show you this piece here. So first, the author, Kevin, gives us his recipe for fried bread. Very fun to take this book out and try it. And then tells you how to put the whole thing together. And then this is where my sticky note is. And these author notes are really fascinating information about each section that was discussed. And I just want to read you this opening piece. You ready? It won't be long. The story of fried bread is the story of American Indians embracing community and culture in the face of opposition. That means like people going against each other. It is community believed that the Navajo were the first to make fried bread over 150 years ago. The basic ingredients may appear simple: flour, salt, water, and yeast, yet the history behind this community anchor is anything but. And it goes on and on. It really is so filled with great information. So even though this is a picture book, you could, if you're an older person studying our Native American people, this book is for you too. All right. So, short, sweet, not simple. And now, to honor our Native friends, I am going to show you how I made this little dream catcher. So hop yourself right on your own dream and join me at the craft table. Heidi ho, friends. Friends and countrymen. Yes, here we go. Now, depending on your age, you will need some help with this craft. So what I've started with first, I took a small paper plate. I like the pattern on the outside. And I cut the center out and I punched holes all around it. Okay, now here's where you're going to first need some help. The threading isn't hard, but because the holes are big, you're going to need somebody, and that one still has to get bigger. You're going to need somebody to help you make a big enough knot to start things off. And I've done a few of these knots and it's still not kind of sticking there. Took a couple, little devious laugh, but off I go. All right, so once you get that, and really what you can also do is once you get it secured, see I just pulled it through, you can take tape. I actually have tape on the back of mine, see? You can take a piece of clear tape and secure it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to keep just randomly filling in more of these holes. And there's no rhyme to reason. You make as many or as few crossovers of the, slippery string. That's really ribbon. The ribbon as you want to do. But what you're trying to do here is to catch a dream. So it's kind of like a spider web. Hang on, I'm trying to hold and make another hole. There we go. Or I'll just go in this one. There you go. This probably is my last one, then I'll show you what else to do. But I was determined. There we go. Okay, so just keep going, crisscross, 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 and try and fill up the middle as much as you're able. And you might need help on that. No problemo on there. Okay, so then comes the fun part, really. Once your web has been made to catch dreams, that's why it's called a dream catcher. If you're dreaming something special you want to hold on. So then comes the fun. So I have, or will have in your kit, like these beautiful, colored feathers. Aren't they pretty? And you can, what I did, I just put them in the hole, and then I took clear tape and just taped them down. You can put them wherever you want or none at all. Lastly, what I did, well, two things. To make it more decorative, I guess, I took the beads that you'll find in your kit, There's all kinds of little beads there. And I took another little cut of the ribbon and I strung the beads. That's my face when I'm making, like, when I'm threading a needle, that's my thread the needle face. So when I'm doing that, you know, because the eyesight's going for sure and it wasn't good to begin with. But okay, so you want to string whatever beads you want, and then you're going to loop that between two holes that are close together and then tie it. And then you'll get this little decorative tie. I didn't know what else I wanted to call it. So there's that, but the very last thing, which makes it fun, is a little hook. And it's a little, you know, I don't know what to call these things. Picture hook, I don't know what they call them. But it's a little metal hook, and you'll probably need help on this. But once the hook, I'll use this one that I started. Once the hook is opened, you're just gonna get probably a big person to help you, and you're gonna pinch it, the big person will, and they're gonna put it through here, so then it hangs. And you can hang this in your room, you can hang it in the living, whatever you want to do with that. And if you don't want the little hook, if you don't want to fight with this, you go, no thank you. And it can hang on your fridge or whatever you want. So, oh, I do have some stickers to put in your kits, and they're these really cool graphic animal stickers. I love the armadillo. And I was, see, I've got the frog. I was kind of thinking of it as my spirit animal, right? An animal that I like, and I could say, please, great frog, help me with my dreams and catch them. Ribbit, ribbit. Okay. In all sincerity, to our native peoples here in Maine and beyond, may this month let you know that we're thinking of you. And come to Belgrade Library if you're in our area. Okay.